This needs to be said. I recently got removed from the security job and I had to self terminate myself because of the situation. Let me say this so everybody can hear this. I did not do what I was being told I did. That is a bold faced lie. And the fact that I have to say this when the video evidence speaks for itself should immediately tell you something. Even when looking at the evidence, even when they said he didn't do it. So what did the person do that felt that I was quote unquote threatening them do? They went to my higher ups and said I did it there before they could go back and say, hey, to this person, hey, they didn't do that. This woman saying, now all of a sudden my job was pending. And I said, you know what? I'm done with this bullshit. This woman just basically, yeah, you're feeling better. I'm not. I've just had the worst of times right now. I'm not having. Well, once I tell you the situation, you're going to understand why it's reasonable. I got falsely accused of threatening somebody, even though there's no evidence of it. The people that were there when this all went down said I didn't do it. And even my old boss said I didn't do it. But yet, the woman decided that it was not enough. So she takes it to the security place that I report to, and she brings it up there before the investigation over at the place ended. Not only does this mean that the evidence used at one place can't be used for another, which is intentionally lying, which is arrestable, but now I have to deal with a possible court case because this woman wants to lie. That is what I'm trying to say. That's why. That's why it's being said and done. That's why I'm cursing. That's why I'm angry. Because this could potentially ruin my life. All for what? That's what I hate the most. People like this exist every day, Dylan. People like this exist everywhere you go. They will find any reason to shut you down because they hate what you have. This is the cold, harsh reality that we all must live through, especially me. So now that you have some knowledge of it, that's why. And I want to make this situation absolutely known. When women say that their rights are being infringed, that's BS. That's total BS. 99 out of 100 times they're lying. And this is the sole key reason why. This right here, false accusations. They can make any false accusation under the sun and it'll be taken immediately into effect. But when I say something, when I say someone's doing something, they're going to instead look into it as they didn't do it. But for me, I'm somehow guilty until proven innocent. But that's not the other way around for a woman. So this is the problem. This is reality slapping me in the face and saying, this is how things go. Regardless of whether you like it or not, this is how things are. So I'm not going to. Yeah, she basically, if she's Christian, she broke one of those 10 commandments. I think she broke more than that, but she definitely broke that one. Yeah, I'm just. This situation got me screwed up in the head. I'm just absolutely shocked that this is a thing. But with what I've done and how this is going to be settled, most likely I'm still going to come out on top and I'm still going to be found innocent. And I'll have to keep people in mind. So, honestly, life's just bitten me so hard. And honestly, it just tore me into pieces. But with how I solved the situation, it gave me a sparkle of potential hope. Yeah. Today, I've definitely had the closest thing I had to a mental breakdown due to the situation because I knew after everything I could still get someone I could still someone could still try to arrest me, someone could still try to accuse me of doing something I didn't do. But with how I solved the situation, I practically gave myself a second life. And I think this needs to be warned to everybody, including you, is that the world is not a safe place, but it also isn't very fair. However, even with everything being tossed my way, slapping me around as if I was nothing to it, I'm not going to stop here. And I think this situation proves that there are just going to be some people that hate you just because you're you. Just because you are something that they don't have or something that you have that they don't want you having it. Therefore, they're not going to let you have it because they feel that they will have a childish nature to do so. Yeah. Life, but that's the thing. The game of life isn't fair. But even with everything thrown at you, you gotta find a reason to continue forward. Because let's say 30 years down the line of right now, we're in our mid 50s, we're successful, and we've completely built ourselves up. The person that accused me, so let's say something bad happened to them and they lost everything. In 30 years, what happened today will not matter. In 30 years, it will not matter. So at the end of the day, she can do this however she wants. But at the end of the day, this is going to come back to bite her very hard. And considering that once they find out it's not exactly true, they're really going to nab her. Really, really going to nab her. Because, I'm not all too sure about how this situation's going to go, but at the end of the day, I'm just, uh, I'm not, I'm probably not going to be the same. Oh, I was accused of, I kid you not, and this is in quotations, quote unquote, threatening. Not threatening one person, threatening two people, threatening to do this, that. No, just threatening. The most blatant excuse to remove someone is literally to tell someone that they've threatened you. That I'm not even kidding. That's the number one excuse used. When they have nothing else to use, that's what they use. They use threatening to get their way. It's just, I still can't believe this happened. Well, no. Here's the thing, Dylan. I didn't threaten anybody. That's the key difference here. I've not threatened a single person there. That's the key thing. I never threatened a single soul. My boss could tell me that I didn't do it. Co-workers, even people there were like, "No, that dude was chill. That dude didn't bother anybody." I didn't bother anybody. So they know this is a lie. They know it, but the problem is they can't do anything until they look at the evidence. But that's the problem. Is that saying if she says enough and says it often enough, it's going to become the truth. And this is what Socrates, I don't know if this is Socrates or Plato, but they had said this exact same thing. Tell a lie often enough and it will be believed as the truth. It doesn't matter if there's truth about it or not. Yeah, that's why in my mind, it's not that I can't trust a woman, it's that this is gonna definitely keep hitting me hard in late life. This is I physically can't trust a woman no more. I mean, think about it. Imagine this. This happens to you. Would you trust any woman other than your mother? Would you trust a woman, anyone other than a family member? And I'm betting the answer is going to be a big fat no. And the reason why is simple. If this happens because someone's upset with their ego, what's going to happen if they really want to get you fired or even arrested? What's going to happen then? I'm just I'm probably not going to be the same for this for I'm not probably going to be the same person for quite a while. This just definitely did not go as I expected it to. This just, all I can really say at this point is I've already quit, so they can't fire me. So I already told them I quit. So at the end of the day, they can't fire me and they can't do that. So sadly, yeah, I do. Luckily for what I did and how I ended it and how I decided to quit, I think I solidified a bridge. So I'm not gonna be in a trouble where I can't find a job due to how I decided to quit and I quit formally. So I think that basically gave me a second chance at finding a good job somewhere. So I think that alone saved me. There's another place that I can go. I'm just I was accused of threatening someone. But the problem is they didn't have any evidence of it. But it was how this woman did this that this had to have been planned. There's no way this wasn't planned. This was planned. And how everything's situated, one domino after another, this was planned 100%. I didn't expect this to happen. I'm going to be honest. I did not expect this to happen in any slight. So when this came in as an email this morning, I realized, oh, what the hell? And then I looked into it and I realized that I was being accused of threatening. And I was like, what the hell? I help people with my job and I get accused of threatening somebody because I upheld my job and what my position was in my job. That's and you know what's bad? Eventually one day I'm going to be teaching her grandchildren because of how old she is. One day I'll be teaching her grandchildren. This came without warning, and as you say, that comes without warning. But as you notice with me, even with as you can hear, with everything thrown to the wall, I'm not just gonna stop. Because if I stop now, I'm so close to my career. Why would I stop right now? You know what I'm saying? Why would I stop right now? And I think that's the key thing. When I was there, I always preached about being calm and collective as a man. But now, yeah, and here's the thing, most people, they're always thought of me as a positive person, a very positive man, because I kept teaching men about being positive when the situation isn't exactly the best. Is that even with everything being thrown at you, the book being thrown, the whole world's basically saying screw you because you're a man, and that and it honestly sucks. It honestly sucks as a man in modern times because you can get accused of anything, and this proves that point. I got accused of something I didn't do, but there was no evidence of it, and I just got thrown out. So that's what I don't understand is that they won't do this with this won't happen if a woman does this. They'll look into it. But if a man does it, all of a sudden, oh, he needs to be removed. Like, this is the main reason. Honestly, this is the best I can really say about the situation because even with everything against it, I still managed to build a bridge one way. So at the end of the day, I've got somewhere I can go. I've got places I can be. So honestly, uh, the last message I have is just because you're having trouble now doesn't mean you will in the future. This only is gonna get to you if you let it. So sure, I feel upset about the situation, but I'm not gonna let my emotions dictate how I respond to this situation. And I think overall, as long as I keep maintaining a composure, keep maintaining who I am, I think it'll pay off in the end. And I think I'll get my job. A couple, yeah. I do know a few. And some of them do have similar problems to you. So you're not exactly alone in this term of process. My final message that I gotta say is you can't just give up because something happens wrong. And that's what I've learned with the situation is that sure, this happened. Sure, it messed me up in the inside, but Mike Tyson said it best himself. It doesn't matter if the man can take the punch, it matters if he can stand up after it. He says, because it doesn't matter if you can take it or not. Once you get knocked down, there will be some people that just don't want to get back up. But if you're resilient and when you get knocked down, you stand right back up, life can't beat you. Well, Dylan, there's a thing about composure is that you can show emotion with composure. There are ways you can do it with composure, and I've learned to do that. The best way to do it is think of it like a balloon. You blow it up with air or you blow it up with your breath, and you either let it from the bottom, you let out air slowly to deflate it, or you pop it out at once. And that's what and most people nowadays want to pop it at once to get rid of the emotions at once. But the problem that creates is that it creates men that want to cause harm to others. It creates sporadic things and it creates sporadic problems. And with how I have to deal with it, I have to let it out a little at a time because if I let it out too much, it creates sporadic issues and I become sporadic. And then it doesn't matter how composed you are, sporadic problems are sporadic and it doesn't matter. So, my best bet in the situation is just move forward. And as I say that, I want to say this to you. It's like it just move we can all move forward. And you don't have to forget about the problem. Don't try to contain it. But I think there are ways you can use your struggling as a positive influence. Think about it like this. If you are incredibly energetic and you can't stop thinking about something to do something that's productive to what your job is or what you're doing at the moment. Do something productive. And what that does is it allows you to control it. It allows you to control the issues that you have. And that's what allowed me to maintain composure because I do boxing and I do all that. I'm able to maintain composure in the moments that matter. And I think this is the important lesson is that the composure that a person has will equal the respect they get. And if you can, yeah. In this instance, I want it to stop immediately too, but I can't stop it because if I do, I would just make it worse. The best thing to think about it is just if you think about it too much, you'll stress yourself out over it. If you think about it too little, you won't learn anything. But in these situations, ask yourself, what did I learn? What did I learn from this? What did I learn from the mistakes that were made today? What did I learn from this situation? So I just want to leave you with that because I've got things I need to get done for school and I got things I need to get done for the upcoming potential of working somewhere else. So I have to figure that out and I have to take more time because I now have to look for the job and I've I've got one. If I can score this, then yeah, I've attended college for a couple of years now. Should be about either halfway through or very, very close to two-thirds of the way through. My message is just yeah. So I'll answer a couple questions. What you got? Then I'll have to log off because I got a few things I need to get done. When did I start boxing? I started around November, mid-November at this point, and I didn't start competitive boxing. I just started doing it because it helped a lot with the stress levels I'd had at that time because I had just moved to a new job. and I it helps a lot because what it allows you to do is it allows to control your body and your mind. You could be as mad as ever, but you could have the contemplating. You could have the face of a neutral of a person with neutrality on their mind, but yet you could be as livid as anything on this planet. So yeah, boxing helped start. I'm very very certain that I think it saved part of me from being lost to this situation. I think it saved me. When I was younger, I always did, but I never had them when I grew up. I never had them when I got to a certain age. I just stopped having them. And my mind just was like, grow. It just tells you and tells me specifically just to grow up and you're an adult, you figure it out yourself. Well, that part's true. I just got to figure out what do I do in case these types of situations occur. But because of how I've solved this situation, how I handled it, I think I've already found the way to handle it. So I think boxing, along with what else I've been doing, created me as a more calm individual. I'm not. I don't yell anymore. I don't complain anymore. At this point, I just say what I need to get off my mind, and I continue going forward from this point. As of right now, I go to Owens, but I was going to BG. I just transfer. I'm gonna just transfer credits over after I'm done with Owens and begin the last few classes at BG and my student teaching career at BG. Basically, do that. Your last semester, are you almost already done? Oh shit, dude! Congrats! I didn't expect you to be able to be done with this so soon. What did you majoring in for? Science, associates of science. Oh, okay, yeah, because that's a field that they do less they do less of the science stuff where they have to force you to take like 6, 8 years of that, but rather they just get you the minimal amount of years and they'll get you right in. That's a good one. STEM. That's definitely a good one. Yeah, it just depends. If you're gonna do teaching, go to BG. But if you're going straight to science and that, go, yeah, transfer to UT. UT has got some good science. They've got good science and engineering. They've got a good STEM program. BG's isn't as good, but BG's well-known assets are more for teaching. They've got some of the best teachers coming out of there. They're one of the best teaching programs in the country. So it's pretty. Yeah. Well, I gotta end the stream. I got things I need to get done. So, yeah. Environmental engineering and water treatment. Yeah, that's definitely something. I didn't expect you to do that, but yeah, you do what you need to do. I'll get done when I need to get done.